Sause Brothers Ocean Towing started out as nothing more than a few brothers and a custom-built tugboat.
That was the first tug that my uncle Kurt built. He built it in about 1936 up in Tillamook. A fellow named Ad Sessions built it for him for $750, and they were my uncle Kurt and Henry were in the rafting and towing business with my grandfather in Tillamook Bay.
The men were eager to put their new vessel to work, and fortunately for them, opportunities seemed to present themselves.
Sometimes log rafts in the middle of the night would come undone. They maybe hadn't been put together properly, and their logs would be released, and then so they had the opportunity the next day or the following day to go and retrieve those log rafts and put them back together for the mill owners in that local area.
They quickly made a name for themselves hauling timber, and even invented the first self-dumping log barge.
They developed what was called a self-dumping, self-bailing log barge. So because they used to build log rafts, and the log rafts would catch fire because of the friction in the log rafts, and so they put them on barges, and then to offload them, they would just heel them over and dump them.
Of course, when the winter cold froze the logs together, they had to improvise.
They got 4 or 5 cases of dynamite, dumping powder. And we put that in there, and it just went whoop, and all the logs come off, broke the ice loose. And from then on, that's how we unloaded the barges.
The logging industry in Oregon was booming, and with it, Sause Brothers grew too, adding more barges and more tugboats to haul timber up and down the Pacific coast.
Lumber was 95% of our business until about 1966 when we started to serve the Hawaiian Islands with building products and developed that business. But primarily we moved packaged lumber to Southern California, and that was the basic commodity that we started with.
Dale is third generation, growing up with his father running the company, and pushed for more diversification, just in case the lumber business ever slowed down.
1976, we transported about 1 billion board feet of lumber, I think, to Southern California out of British Columbia, Washington, and Oregon ports. And the following year, the housing market in Southern California collapsed, and we lost 70% of our business. So we had to go find other businesses in Alaska, South Pacific, other areas of oil, petroleum, transportation. A lot of other things had to be developed because we just simply lost the business.
Sause pivoted, and their foresight and reputation quite literally kept them afloat. No hauling job was too big or too small, even when it came to a piece of American history.
The Spruce Goose is just a few hours from Portland, riding a barge up the Columbia River to a new life as a tourist attraction in McMinnville. The giant plane arrived in Oregon ahead of schedule from California.
Today they are stronger than ever, offering a diverse range of services.
The core of our business is transporting customers' products, whether it be packaged lumber from the Columbia River to Southern California for still home building with Weyerhaeuser, or moving oil products on the U.S. West Coast by tug and barge for Chevron, U.S. Oil, or other major oil companies with the Bay class barges, or moving containers and building products out of the Columbia River on the Wind class barges, Kamakani and Namakani.
But Sause is much more than just towing. Over the years, they began first building their own barges, and now their own tugs as well.
And then the engineering department began to look at ways to innovate and build better barges, build better tugs. And then in about 1997, our engineering team began to talk about fuel efficiency, because diesel was selling for 47 cents a gallon. And our senior engineer at that time said, it could go to $1 a gallon. So we better really concentrate on fuel efficiency. And so we started at that point in time really looking at the efficiencies of tugs, barges, hydrodynamics, and that led to the whole evolution of the Bay class barges, then the Wind class barges, and now the Pacific class of barges they're more hydrodynamic and more fuel efficient. As we became more efficient, we could do more with fewer vessels, because they towed faster, they discharged faster, and so we've been able to haul in a much more efficient manner with fewer vessels, and so our whole fleet is now comprised in 3 bases in Oregon, California, and the Hawaiian Islands of about 50 tugs and barges.
All while playing a pivotal role in keeping American businesses thriving.
Purely a Jones Act company. All of our vessels are built in the United States by Americans in American shipyards. They're owned by an American company.
With his daughters working at his side, Dale and Sause brothers showed no signs of slowing, something his father is immensely proud of.
He took it very seriously. He's done a marvelous job. I'll be very frank with you. He's doing a much better job than I could possibly do. I couldn't ask for anything nicer. And my son Dale looks after us to me very, very well.